What's up, guys? So with the release of the new next generation of gaming consoles, a lot of people are in the market to look for a TV to better take advantage of their consoles. Now, I've been a big fan of Samsung, and I was currently rocking a 49-inch Samsung KS8000 that came out in, I believe, 2016. It was a great TV and actually took care of the job for exactly what I needed, but for my new space, I really wanted to upgrade my TV and definitely get a TV that was much bigger. So what I ended up doing here is I ended up picking up the Samsung QLED TV, Q60T, the 65-inch QLED TV from Samsung. And I just wanted to give my quick thoughts on this actual television set, and in particular, from an average user's perspective. However, I am a user who's geared towards gaming, and in particular console gaming. So I wanted to give a perspective from an average user who's not a big TV, I don't know if there's a term for it, but like a TV aficionado, but you know, essentially somebody who's an average user but still wants to use a good TV for a good budget value for the next generation of consoles. And what I came across is this QLED TV. Here's the 65-inch version, and I want to give my thoughts on this TV in general. So first things first, let's talk about the design of this TV. Bezels are extremely thin. That was one important thing that I really wanted, was a very thin bezels. This is a 4K TV, of course. You know, that's one of the things you definitely need, is you need a 4K TV. And this is a VA panel, not an IPS display panel. And basically what that means is that the contrast ratio is better, so the blacks will look darker. And now when you're playing content on the PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X and you're going to be using HDR, one of the things that you're going to want is you're going to want the black levels to be nice and deep, and that's important. OLED TVs usually have the best contrast ratio, but after OLED TVs, this Samsung has this QLED technology which tries to almost mimic it somewhat. It doesn't quite do so. However, it gets close enough, and for the price, it's actually really fantastic. So let's get back to the build quality. So again, this is very thin bezel, so that's important to me because, you know, obviously we're going to be sitting in front of the TV. It's pretty thin. It's not as thin as an OLED TV. It's got a little bit of a back here, but overall pretty thin. It comes with 3 HDMI ports, a component port. Good to just kind of have. 3 HDMIs is okay, not the best. I would prefer more, but 3 is what we have. 2 legs that actually don't screw in, they kind of just snap in. The KS8000 had a very similar look to that. However, these, you know, these are plastic. The KS8000 had a little bit more premium looking legs. So these legs look a little cheaper. The back of the TV is also plastic, so it has a little bit of a cheaper look, but however, it doesn't really bother me much because, you know, we'll be spending more time in front of the TV looking at the TV. Now, in terms of performance, this TV really did impress me. The blacks are nice and deep, and HDR content, this goes to about like 470 nits, close to 500 nits, you can say. And anything usually above 400 nits is usually good enough for the general consumer to be able to really take advantage and take a look at HDR and have the colors of HDR become more vibrant and pop. This does have a wide color gamut, so that's important, so you can actually display all the colors that you need be, and it gets bright enough to have HDR content look extremely well. Input lag is very low. It also has a gaming mode, which makes the input lag even lower. This TV, like I mentioned before, is a 4K TV, and actually the refresh rate, the native refresh rate on this TV is 60 Hertz, and it's locked at 60 Hertz. It doesn't have any type of variable refresh rate, which means any type of artificial means to make the refresh rate even more advanced than that. I know some of the games, and, you know, everyone talks about the fact of 120 Hertz. Now, I don't know how often 120 Hertz games are going to be out there. Me personally, I prefer resolution over frame rate. I know a lot of people prefer frame rate over resolution, and it's kind of like a mixed bag, but you have to be true to yourself, and then you can get a TV that offers 120 Hertz refresh rate or variable refresh rate. This TV in particular, though, if you're going to go for this TV, it does not offer that, which I'm completely okay with, because in terms of playing games, this is fantastic. So as you can see from like this little preview here, this is the Apple TV, which is on right now, and as you can see, this is pretty bright. I have all these lights on it in the downstairs in the basement, but because it's a VA panel and still gets pretty bright, and it's like about 500 nits, it's able to combat any type of glare, so you don't see that much glare on this television. Other than that, I mean, the television sounds better than I thought, maybe because it's a 65. I've never had such a big TV before, but the very thin bezels, see the edges, the bezels are so thin. I think that's what really makes it and breaks it and makes it very immersive. So HDR content is there, 4K 60 is there. That's exactly what I needed. I don't really need a variable refresh rate. I don't need 120 hertz. For me, 60 hertz is more than enough. For me, the main thing that was important for me was I wanted the TV to look nice, look premium, without a premium price tag, and I wanted HDR content to be displayed nicely. Now, OLED TVs usually have local dimming, and what that means is some of the lights behind the LEDs actually turn off, and that will give you a higher contrast ratio and make blacks look even darker. This doesn't have that, but because it's a VA panel, VA panels natively on their own have a better contrast ratio, so the blacks already look dark enough. And overall, this TV, you can get it on sale. You can find it for as low as up to like $700. So this TV overall is a fantastic package in my opinion. I'm not the type to buy TVs often. I don't think you need to go for 8K, that's a big mistake. I don't think you need to find necessarily 120 hertz. I also think that's a big mistake. And nowadays, you know, consumers get confused and they go for these ridiculous TVs with these ridiculous price tags. At the end of the day, you have to figure out exactly what's best for yourself. This is a secondary TV. My family is not gonna be really using this one. This is really personally for me, my friends, and you know, when I have people over and we're just like gaming and hanging out, does exactly what I need it to do, displays HDR 4K content perfectly. I'm gonna watch movies on it, play games on it, so it's just for my needs. This TV is better than I anticipated. And like I said, even the speakers are better. I had a sound bar. I actually didn't hook up the sound bar. I feel like the setup looks cleaner without a sound bar. And the TV speakers itself natively sound really, really good. So far, I mean, you know, I'm really enjoying it. The settings that you can mess around with this TV. You can customize anything you like. It also has like an ambient mode, which kind of becomes low powered. It becomes a little bit more dim and shows various different backgrounds, similar to what's happening right now. This is from the Apple TV. It also has its own mode where you can just have it there in the background. It's a nice little background piece. Other than that, I mean, you know, you plug in the HDMI inputs and everything automatically adjusts in the TV for the most optimal settings. I plugged in the PlayStation 5 and it automatically enabled HDR, UHD, and everything else to make it optimized. So anything you plug in, this is a 4K Apple TV. As soon as I plugged in the 4K Apple TV, this thing also you know, adjusted itself for 4K HDR again. So, you know, overall, I really can't complain. I really think this TV is worth it. It was on sale a lot for Black Friday, but, you know, until the new model comes out, which probably will come out next year or so, you know, they usually upgrade TVs. This is a really solid TV that's pretty future-proof in my opinion. And I think overall, you're gonna be satisfied with your experience with this TV. So in my opinion, you know, definitely if you're looking for an upgrade of a television and you're gonna definitely want to play the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, you will not be disappointed by this television. I think the main thing you need to look for is make sure the TV is bright. Number one, make sure the TV is nice and bright so the HDR content looks good. And number two, make sure the size is appropriate to whatever you like. I had a 49 inch. This is quite an upgrade from the 49 inch. And so far, I'm definitely loving the experience. So, you know, let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know if you're interested in upgrading your television. And if you are, you know, let me know if you'd be interested in a panel like this or if you have any particular questions about a panel like this. Overall, I mean, you know, I'm very satisfied with my experience so far. So until next time.